I don't know. We're playing the game, right? We're playing the game. Say what you want to. We're playing the game.
Glory, great, visiting with us today. We're delighted that you would join us, and hope that you feel free to worship as you see fit there. In the way of announcements, first of all, we did start our Sunday school back this week. Next Sunday, the starting time will be at 9:45, and so we're doing one session depending on what week you're in the sanctuary, and then one in the fellowship hall. But we'll start at 9:45 next Sunday. Our offering plates are at the front and to the side over here, so if you have tithes or offerings that you'd like to place there, please feel free to do that. And I know that our Bible school, we're making plans for that. If you'd like to be part of that, please see Chelsea or Nathan, and they'll get you placed in that. Any other announcements that I need to make? All right. Any prayer requests or praise reports this morning?
We need to remember John Sparks. He's having a pretty tough time coming out of his surgery. Also remember Jewel Hughes. This is Louise's sister. They have her in the Bryan Center. Jeff Hughes, continue to remember him as he's healing. Remember my wife, she'll be traveling this week. She's gone. And John Hartzell, he had shoulder surgery. I think he's doing pretty good. Anita had some eye surgery, and it's doing well. If we remember Eva Troutman, this is David Troutman's mother, a good friend of mine. They're doing her funeral today. And we got that new couple got married yesterday, Amber and Jordan, and that went well. We thank God for that, and just pray God's protection and blessings on them while they're gone.
Anyone else this morning? Most of you are not sitting where you usually sit, so it's hard for me to find you.
I've got a nephew that come home the other day, so he's been deployed for a year now. He got to come home the other day, and I praise God for that.
Amen for that.
Amen.
My Uncle James, he's not doing very well. He was in the hospital a couple weeks ago.
Okay, thank you. Remember this request.
Also, I got a special prayer request. Just a minute ago I was talking with, and then also our nation. All this rioting and junk going on. God needs to get back in the United States, or we've had.
Just remember the people that are in the nursing homes that's sick, and there's a lot of nursing homes that's got the coronavirus in it that people can't go see them. People are dying alone, and it's just a sad situation all the way around. I mean, these little people have Alzheimer's, don't have a clue why nobody gets to come see them. You know, it's just sad to me. So just remember all those that are in the nursing homes and in the hospitals that are sick and don't have nobody by their side.
Thank you for mentioning that. I know Kim's mom's in a nursing home, and on Mother's Day, you go to visit, and all along the wall, people are talking to their loved ones that are on the first floor. And then, some of them, Alzheimer's and different things that just can't communicate with. And then you hear the death rate in some of the nursing homes as well. Definitely think of all the things affected by the coronavirus that has to be at the top of the list.
Myron, pray for the OMC employees that just lost their job, Bombardier.
BRP?
My daughter and her fiance that's getting married Friday.
Yeah.
Then we start down there with no job.
Employment is limited in Mitchell County to begin with. You're in another facility. It's tough to hear. Anyone else this morning? Make sure it's good to see everyone. We'll go to the Lord in prayer. Your gracious Heavenly Father, what a privilege it is to be in your house, and Lord, we just seek your presence, and Lord, lead and guide us in our service, and Lord, we just pray that everything that we do and say goes to your glory. Father, we have many prayer requests this morning for loved ones that are sick, and for families that have lost loved ones. Father, we just ask that you pray for be with these especially. Father, we know that special prayer request this morning for John that live there, and folks, I just pray, Lord, that if nothing else, that you will receive glory from it, and that folks will see that you are at work. And Father, just bring praise to your name. Father, we pray for our nation and all that's going on. And Lord, sometimes we just feel so defeated, and Father, just not knowing exactly what to do. Father, help us to turn to you. Lord, look to you for guidance. And Lord, to be strengthened by you in our actions. Father, we just pray for our church family. Father, we pray for the message today. Father, we just give all these things. For it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
have you at Grace Chapel Baptist Church today. We're doing things a little bit different. I want everybody to loosen up a little bit, okay? Smile. Come on, loosen up a little bit. It's all right. God is still in control. Amen? Amen. And we're going to give him glory today. We're going to do pastor's pals just a little bit different today. I've got a pastor's pal. We'll do pastor's pal. How about that? And her name is Kinsley. Or Kinsley. Ain't that right? Kinsley. And she's going to be coming. And she is going to sing for us today. So if you'll come up here, I've got your microphone, and we'll be ready to go. I want everybody to see I'm being socially correct. I'm going to wipe this thing out. Get rid of all my germs and all. Are we on? Yes. We're on. Okay. You ready? Okay. I'm going to hand you that. Or you want me to hold it? You hold it. Okay. All right. You let her rip. We have a great privilege today. We're sitting here in the house of God. Yeah. We're with the people of God. Yeah. And the Bible tells me wherever his people are, they're gathered together, he's going to be there. Yeah. We all need his presence, especially in this crazy day that we are living in. I want us to look in our Bibles today. The first thing, not first thing, I won't say that. Well, I can't get it out. Psalms. The book of Psalms 126. Psalms 126. I want to preach to you on this subject this morning. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? And when you hear that, when I say that, it says, I'm saying, do you know what I'm talking about? Can I get a witness? There's people out here today, I can start talking about being afraid. And they know what I'm talking about. There's people that I can talk about being sad, and they can witness that. They've been sad. There's people I can start talking about hurt. They can witness, I've been hurt also. Or I can talk to these little kids and I say, have you ever been burnt? You know how that feels? They say, yeah, I know how that feels. Or it can maybe be lost. Have you ever been lost before? You get in a store and mama get away from you? And I'm just talking about, can I get a witness? You know how different things feel. When you hear somebody talk about certain things or different things going on in their life, you can say, hey, I got a witness sometimes because you've gone through some of those subjects, some of those things in your own life. So let's stand this morning for the reading of God's holy and inerrant and infallible word in the book of Psalms 126. And we'll start with verse 1. The Bible says, when the Lord turned again the captive of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue was singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord had done great things for them. The Lord had done great things for us, wherefore we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south. They that sow with tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seeds, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing sheaves with him. Our Heavenly Father, we ask you, God, to please just add your blessings upon the reading of your word. I pray, God, that you will anoint me with the message today. And I pray that it would touch our hearts as only, God, that you can. And Lord, when we leave here today, it'll be a challenge for us to do, God, the word that we will hear. And I pray this in your sweet name, Jesus Christ. Amen. And be seated. Again, this is a great crowd, and thank you again for coming. Can I get a witness? Have you ever heard that? It used to be an old song. I think Marvin Gaye sung it. I know that's a secular song, but he talked about, can you get a witness? But that term right there come back in the old revival days. Old black preacher, he'd get up, and after he got through speaking, he'd say, can I get a witness? And then maybe somebody out in the audience would stand up and they'd give a testimony of what God had done for them in their life. So when I say, can I get a witness? There we go. We're getting a witness right now. Amen. Brother Ken knows what I'm talking about. He understands. And when I'm saying that, when I say, can you get a witness today, I want you to say, do you know what I mean? Have you experienced what I'm talking about? That's the whole thing. I think about the leper that was in the Bible there in the New Testament. And he went to go see Jesus. And being a leper, he would have to stay with the lepers. He would be really out of the scene. He was a filthy, probably smelling place because all their bodies were being eaten by the rot of the leprosy. Probably he only had a stub for a hand. Maybe his hand had been eaten off. He was going to go see Jesus because he saw Jesus, heard that Jesus was there. And I can just hear his friends, don't do that, they'll stone you to death. But he was, in my mind, I can just see him going out to go see Jesus. And as he came, he was crying, unclean, unclean, because that's what lepers had to do. And the crowd, just by instant, let him through. I know he came to Jesus. And he stood there in front of Jesus, weeping, crying, unclean, unclean. And then something happened. Jesus reached out and touched him. And healed him. Just looked at him. And something took place. I mean, he was made whole. He was made clean. And that's a picture of every one of us here today. If we were sinners and we were lost, Jesus came by and he touched us, he healed us, and he made us clean. Can I get a witness? Amen. That's what he does. And see, that's a picture. And I can believe maybe this leper, maybe he sung Psalms 126. I'm free, I've been made clean. I think about you and I. We can sing this same Psalms in our life as we will look at it here in just a second. The things that we go through in life is so that we can have a witness. Some of the toughest things that we go through in life is for you to be able to help somebody else along life's way. It's not meant for you to hold them things inside of you, but it's for you to share those things with other folks, to let them know that you're human and let them know that you have tough times in your life. Let's look at the reality of this Psalms right here this morning. The first thing we'll look at is the reality. And what I'm talking about, this isn't just a song made up. This is a Psalms that was talking about the 70 years of exile of Israel in Babylon. 70 years they had been there surrounded and captive and in chains and shackles and just being surrounded by these people. But after these 70 years, God's coming in and He's fixing to change things. He's going to send them home and they're going to go to Jerusalem and they're going back to the house. And it says there in verse 1, it said it felt like a dream. But it's a real dream that they were seeing. See, the desire of this psalm is, I believe, is in today's theme is for you and I to leave the darkness, to leave the shackles of sin, the things that are holding us down, the things that are binding us, and to allow Him to set us free and get back to where we want to be, where we need to be with Christ. I believe that's what it's kind of talking about. It's a picture today. If there's a picture of anything today in America, it needs to be unshackled. I have never in my born days, I don't remember anything happening like this except back when they did busing. And it just keeps getting worse. These people, they're not protesters, they're looters. And the reason I say that, because protesting in the days when I was coming up, it was usually led by godly people. You would have godly men that would lead people in different things, but now it's got so bad. And today, it's a wonderful thing if you know Jesus Christ. And it's a wonderful thing to know that you've been set free. And I'm thankful that I know that I'm free. And that's what, again, this Psalms is all about. In reality, we're all surrounded. We're surrounded by sin. We're surrounded by Satan. There's people right here, probably today, you're chained down to something. You're overwhelmed with something. But I'm here to tell you, God can set you free. And that's what He wants to do. Just like He did with the children of Israel after their captivity. So let's look at something else. Let's look here at verse 1. He delivered. That's what I like. It says, when the Lord turned again the captive of Zion, they were like a dream. He said, turn the captive, right there, they were captive, and now He's turned it around, and they're back home. They're going into Jerusalem, and they're wonderful. And it said it was like a dream, as I've already said. Now think about this. Has anybody ever heard the word mirage? Okay, in Christian life, it's like this. A mirage, it's out in the desert. Sometimes you're in your Christian walk. I've been in this situation, and I'll share. But you feel like you're in the desert. And then you look in the distance, and there it looks like an oasis. It looks real, and the closer you go, the closer it looks. But when you get there, it kind of disappears. It's kind of like having a dream. In my life, just here the other day, I was talking to my wife how I had a dream, how so real it was. I come to church, and I was trying to find my Bible, and I couldn't preach. I mean, everywhere I looked, I was looking for my Bible, and that Bible was not to be found nowhere. And people got mad, and they started leaving. And, I woke up and thank goodness that wasn't true. But, that's the way dreams are. You can also have a dream that everything's better. But then you wake up and life is still there. It don't go away. It's still there. See, God can help us through those times. This dream, it wasn't a dream. This is a real thing that's taking place right here. And the reason I say that, He delivered them from Babylon. They were surrounded, and all of a sudden the drums stopped beating. And now they see the deliverance is here, and they can go to the house. And they're on their way. Sin, it has shackles. Many people get shackled. I'm telling you, Christians get shackled by sin. You have to watch it. A Christian person can allow the things of the world to shackle them down. And all of us has experienced it at times or another. I believe that with all my heart. And it might be today that God, He wants to unshackle you. He wants to release you. He wants to get you out of Babylon, and He wants to bring you into Jerusalem to where He is at, to where He can... See, He's got the key. He has the key to unlock any shackle, anything that's got a hold, anything that's holding me and you down. He's got a key that, my friends, that He can let it go and let us go from that problem that we're up against. But let's look at something else. We see that He did turn them around and He let them go, but look at verse 2. Look at their delight. Look at their delight. It said that their mouths were filled with laughter and their tongue was singing. I mean, how could anything else be? How could there any other kind of reaction take place if you've been in captivity 70 years and now you're let go, you're free, and you can do whatever you want. You can go back to the home, you can see your home folks and have a great time. You would be crazy not to thank the Lord for something like that. I think about Peter. You think about Peter in the Bible. He was in prison. And there he was, shackled between two prison guards. And as they slept, an angel of the Lord came down and told him to get up, loosen him, and to get up, to gird up himself, and to put on his sandals and to follow Him. And if you read that passage in God's Word, it says he thought it was a dream. But it said that the angel led him out of the prison, and he took him out into the city, and when he got into the city, he went to Mary's house. And when he got to Mary's house, he went, "That's you, Rocky. You was out there knocking on that door. They wouldn't come." And finally they come. They're at the Easter thing, Easter play. And when she came, she seen Peter down there. And she turned around and she ran back up. And she told all the people, Peter's out there. And you know what they told her? You're mad. You know what they were saying? You had a dream. Hey, Peter's in jail. Peter's in prison. He's not out there. And finally, they got enough sense and they went out there and they saw Peter. You know what the Bible says next? The Bible says they were astonished. The Bible says they went wild, was what you might say. And Peter had to beckon them, hey, shut up, but slow down, you're going to get us in trouble. Right here, that's the same picture. Here he was captive. God delivered him, and the people prayed. That's what we're supposed to do when the children in this world, my friend, are lost and they don't know Jesus. They get saved, my friend. We need to rejoice. We need to be thankful that God has set them free and helped them. And that's what God did with Peter right there. The Israelites, they had a joy, a delight, and you couldn't get their mouth closed. They were just excited about being free. You know, Christians, that's one thing we ought to be excited to tell folks, how the freedom that God gives you and I, each and every day of our life. He said, I know days are going to be tough. Not every day is going to be good. Some days are going to be bad, and other days are going to be worse, and some's going to be worse than that. But I'm saying, God's there with them. And God had helped them through all of it. And this being set free from bondage, that makes you a different person. Can I get a witness? Amen. You know what I mean? Do you know how it feels? Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. I've been looking at the song all day today. I ain't going to sing it for you because I can't sing that. This is mechanics, I kill it. But they got a song. And I remember, y'all hear me hoop every once in a while, right? This used to be a song back at my home church I hoop at. I couldn't control myself. But it says, do you know how it feels? Do you know how it feels when something's missing? To hear a still small voice that just you keep dismissing. Do you know how it feels to be troubled inside and to think just for a cross that he died? Do you know how it feels when he knocks to surrender? How your sins washed away, never to be remembered? Do you know that it's real? Do you know how it feels? Folks, I'm going to tell you what, that's the greatest feeling I've ever had. That's the greatest experience you can have when you can go back. And think about the day that Jesus come by. I know what it is to dismiss him. I know what it is to walk out of the church time and time again, hearing the preacher preach the word of God, hearing the word sung, and I know what it is to miss it. And I thank God that he can't go knocking. And I'm thankful he knew that I was shackled and I needed to be unlocked and I needed to be set free. And when he did, it ain't never been the same. I can tell you I've messed up a lot of times since he saved me, but I want to tell you it's never been the same. I know how it feels. You know how it feels? If you don't, I want you to know how it feels because it is real. And that's the witness. But let's look at something else. After this being sent captive, let's look at something else. Let's look at the reaction of the heathen people there in verse 2. The first part of 1, it says, and their mouth was filled with laughter and their tongues was singing. But then it says, then said they among the heathen that the Lord had done great things. See, that's what the world is looking at right now. They're looking at the church. They're looking at Christians. They're wanting to see something extraordinary come out of our life instead of something just ordinary. And that's what these heathens just were seeing as they were leaving out of Babylon and they were coming into Jerusalem. They said that something has happened. God has worked another great miracle. They haven't won another great battle. But if you read the story, guess what? They didn't have to even pull a sword. They didn't have to do nothing. It got leaked out. You know who won the battle for them? God. He said, stand still. And they did. And just a few days after they seen that they were being let go, God piled them old people up like cordwood, like old dry bones in the middle of the desert, and they took off. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I can tell you what, I bet they wasn't Baptists. I guarantee you that. I bet they had a Holy Ghost revival fit when they was going there. I bet they was high-fiving everybody. I bet they wasn't practicing social distance, and I guarantee you that. I guarantee they was hugging and they was loving and they were running and they were all excited. Did you see God? All those people dead and we didn't have to do a thing. Did you see God? He let us out of Babylon and we're free. Did you see what God has done? Folks, that's what it's about. It's a reality and it's a reaction. See, the heathen looked one way, but then the righteous had another reaction. Look at verse 3. They said the Lord had done great things, and they were glad. Now, can I ask you something? When's the last time you had a Holy Ghost feeling? Just you and God. I'm not saying out in public. But when's the last time that a tear might have flowed through your eyes and your heart pitter-patted a little bit and things started just boiling over, you might say? See, when God does something great, you're glad. You're happy. It says there's a joy that comes within your heart. Again, when you've been freed, you know it. You know when you've been freed. Let's look at something else. These people ask a request, and the request is in verse 4. It says, turn again our captive, O Lord, into the streams of the south. Now, buddy, I had to look that up. That didn't make a lot of sense right there. Turn again our captive. I know what that meant. That means free us. But it says, O Lord, as the streams in the south. Well, the streams in the south that was going south, it's talking about waters that were really rushing. It's talking about white waters. It's talking about turbulent waters. See, they're praying. What they're praying for right here, and they're asking for, their request is, God, bring a revival. Bring a revival back to Jerusalem. Bring it back to the people. Restore our place of worship. Restore us and make us a people that God can be proud of. Let's do that. You know, I think that's what we need to pray for America right now. I want to tell you what, I believe we need to pray for our churches. You know what I feel in our church today? And I'm here. I'm going to be truthful. I feel the heavens.
Yes.
I'm not talking about a heavens of heart. I feel a battle.
Yes.
I feel it. And folks, we're fixing to get in the battle we have never had. We better be praying for a revival, not just for this nation, and not just for our church, but we need to pray for a revival for us as individuals.
Yes.
Because a revival is preparing you for a battle like you've never gone up against.
Yes.
And that's what I see. And that's what I feel. And I talked with some other preachers. They cranked that church last week too. And they said, man, you would have thought people would have been walking aisles. I mean, walking aisles. What do you call it? Walking pews. You thought people would have been standing up testifying everywhere. And that's not what I'm talking about. But see what's going on. This is something that's unusual and it's hard for us to get. But I'm going to tell you what, our God is big enough and bigger than all this junk that's going on.
Yes.
I keep saying that. That's what I want us to understand. He is there. And I request, God, show your presence. It's like open the floodgates of heaven and hit me. And then hit the church and hit the nation. God, I need your presence. But the only way you're going to make it in this world is with the presence of God. When you try to walk without God, it's a tough thing.
Amen.
Because all of us have tried it at one time or another. But now listen to the reply. You want something? Let me tell you how you're going to get it. Look at verse 5. It said, they that sow with tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth weeping bringeth precious seeds, shall doubtlessly come again with rejoicing, bringing the sheaves with him. What does that say? It's just simple. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay a price for a revival to your lives? Are you willing to pay the price for a revival to our church? Are you willing to pay a revival to the land that we live in? What I'm saying is this, and I'm talking to me right now. I ask myself this question. When's the last time I cried for this nation? When's the last time I cried for an individual? When's the last time that I got serious with God and tears flowed down my face? You know what tears mean? I'm serious. I mean what I'm saying. I'm up against something.
Yes.
Tears mean that you know what's going on, and you know in your heart and your life, you need the help of God. Yes. I mean, that's what the Bible is here, the tears. Tears, I think of it like this. When I am serious about God doing something, this is me. I'm not talking, everybody's different. Everybody's different, I know that. But when I'm serious and I'm trying to get in touch with God, do something in my life or show me something, I've had tears. I've cried up there on Blue Rock. Quiet Reflection, I think it is. Yeah, Quiet Reflection on Blue Rock. I can take you over here to High Pastures over in Burnsville. And I sat out there and I told you this before. I've cried on that picnic table. And I've asked God, I need a word. God, I need some leadership. I need some guidance. I need something, God, that only you can give me. And I'm not saying he came through right then, but he provided. He seen that I was serious. A lot of times I just would take life so lightly, so easy. But we have to get serious about things. See, I believe this psalm right here too is a challenge to the church. While we got time to witness, we better get out there and witness. While there's time for people's lives to be saved and changed, we better get out there and tell them about the Lord Jesus Christ. See, the reason I know tears are important, they're in the Bible 3 times. Jesus had tears. One time Jesus had tears as he stood before Lazarus' tomb. There was Mary, all the friends, and the heaviness that was there, his friend was there, and the shortest verse in the Bible said Jesus wept. So we know that Jesus wept there. You go into the New Testament and you look, and Jesus, he stood up over Jerusalem. And he saw Jerusalem, how they had rejected him and had rejected all the blessings. And it said Jesus cried, he wept. And then the third time that Jesus wept, he wept for a friend, and he wept for a people, a nation. And then he wept for the world, if you think about it, when he went to Gethsemane. And he bowed down there in the garden, and he prayed for all of us, to be saved. He prayed for all of us, His tears, as I've read in the Bible, said was mingled with blood. He was serious. Tears mean that we are serious. He that sows with tears shall have joy. He that goeth forth weeping, bearing those precious seeds. Don't think for 1 minute. Weeping is weak. Crying is not weak. Crying is strength when you cry out for somebody's soul, because Satan is out to destroy their life. He and the demons of hell are going to do everything he can to keep you from praying for somebody, or praying for this church, or praying for our nation. He's going to do everything because he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it to happen, but I'm here to tell you, God has set it free. God will do it right. God, hey, it's battle. And when you're in battle, it's a serious thing. God's called us to spread the word. God's called us to share the word. He's told us to do it weeping and all. There's a gentleman. His name is Noel Shaw. Anybody heard the song Bring In the Sheaves? That's an old Christian song, Bring In the Sheaves. It says about him when he was 12 years old that his daddy gave him a violin. And he started playing the violin. He became a great musician. And then it goes on and tells about his life, how he was a good singer, and then God called him into evangelism. And he went all around and he would evangelize. The way he would get his crowds, he'd start singing and playing his violin, and he'd get them all in, and then he'd preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. It says about his life, thousands of people come to know him and to know the Lord and Savior as their personal Savior. One of his friends wrote this and said they were on a train and they were on their way across Texas going to a meeting. And as they were going to the meeting, he said Noel shared with him that he had never been discouraged. And that's hard for me to believe, a preacher not getting discouraged or a Christian. But he said, I don't get discouraged in my work. And he said, why? He said, I love God. And he said that I know God. If I share God, that I know he has the ability to change people's lives. And he said it wasn't long after that their train wrecked. And he said Noel's was killed. But he said, I always will remember what Noel's last words were. He said it's a grand thing to rally people to to the cross of Jesus Christ. And all that's saying, it's a grand thing for you and I to introduce people to Jesus Christ. It's a grand thing. I heard the story of a little boy, 9 years old. He got lost. His daddy got on a horse. He had a trumpet. And they said that Dad, he went all through the fields and out through the woods that evening trying to find his little boy. It was in the dead of winter, and he just kept blowing that trumpet, hoping this little boy would hear that trumpet and come to where he was. Said he blowed that trumpet all night. And then the next morning, as the day started to break, he was in a field and he blew that trumpet, and that little boy came out of the woods and ran and jumped into his own warm arms. The little boy looked up at his dad. His dad had blown that trumpet all night. His lips were bleeding and his lips were broken. And you think about this. When's the last time you blew your trumpet? When's the last time somebody came running for Jesus? When you blow your trumpet. We can blow our trumpets, amen? But who are we blowing these trumpets for? We need to be blowing for Jesus Christ. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you this morning, and we thank you, God, for your word. I ask you, God, if there's one here today that doesn't know you as their personal Savior, I pray today would be that day that they would make their way down. I pray, God, for those who have sowed in tears. I pray, God, that they can reap them. And I know it comes in that season. I pray, Lord, that you will bless and you will help, encourage, and strengthen. I pray, God, today for our nation. It has got so far away from you. It doesn't look to you. Many of our churches have done the same, and many people have done the same. But help us, God, to get serious. And help us, God, to do our part. Because, Lord, you are worthy of everything that we can say and share with other folks. I love you and I appreciate you. And I pray this in your sweet name, Jesus Christ. Amen. We stand to our feet and we bow our heads. Our altars are open if you want to come use them. This is a good-looking crowd. We're a bunch of good-looking people anyway. I thank you all for supporting our church. I thank you for praying for our church. if there is a need, please let me know. We've been getting boxes, and if there's somebody here that has not received a box or something, please let me know. I've been trying to get names, and it's just hard. I think there's a few more that I've got that I have not. The Baptist on mission, they have shared, and we've been able to share back with other folks to be able to help. So please let me know if you have not, because I'm not trying to skip anybody. I'm just a human. Anybody ever skipped anybody or messed it up before? Okay, we're in the same boat. We love all of you. Again, remember next week, Sunday school 9:45, 2 different classes. The children are meeting back, and the regular class have got plenty of room there. Thank you very much for being here today again, and let me get to the back, and you'll be at liberty to go, and I'll just say howdy and bye, okay? I won't take any further.